Or is it
Now it's on.
Okay.
It's on.
All right. Here we go again with a family portrait.
Okay. It's just
Hello. You look lovely. Okay. First question that I had is about the origin of where, who came from Russia or Poland or what? Anybody know who came from where?
Pop came from
They
Russia.
came from Warsaw.
Uh-huh.
Grandpa did. That's where the name Warsaw comes from.
Was he born there?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
In the state.
And so his parents were
I think
born
they-
there, obviously.
Russia.
Yeah.
Grandma came from Pulaski.
No,
Pulaski was.
What's her name, or what was her maiden name?
Eisenberg.
She was in Eisenberg. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's Grandma.
And Warshawski does stand for someone from Warsaw, right? Obviously.
Right.
And it was Poland at the time, not
No,
on the
it wasn't
borderline.
Poland.
Yeah.
No.
It might have been Prussia,
It
or
was Russian.
it was.
I know there was a little place called Pereyaslav.
Oh, yes.
Where they
Yes.
came from.
Pulaski it was.
Well, Pereyaslav.
Okay.
Yeah.
What?
The
Pereyaslav?
organization.
Yeah.
That's the organization they belong to.
Is that like the American name of it, maybe?
No,
Well, the
they
organ-
took
I
the
don't
Jewish
remember.
name from there. Pereyaslav it
That was
was.
Grandma and Grandpa.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Do you remember your grandparents?
Sure.
oh yeah.
Yeah, the Warshawski. Tell me a little bit about them. What do you remember about them?
They lived with my...
Oh, I
The
know.
first time they met,
Yeah.
Because
she said the first time she ever saw him was when she was walking down the aisle to marry him.
Really?
Really.
Was it an arranged
Yeah,
marriage?
That was the first time
Wow.
that they met.
Yeah, they married
It was
64
a marriage.
years. That was pretty good.
64 years.
Wow.
They
And it worked
both
out.
died in their 90s.
Wow.
That was really quite the thing. Yeah.
She was a very heavy woman,
Yeah.
and he was very tall, stately looking.
Nice looking man.
He
Mhm.
worked until almost the day he died.
Wow.
Yeah, really.
He worked with Uncle Bill.
Willie.
Willie.
Willie worked with him.
Doing what kind of work?
At a paper, they cut paper for printers,
Uh-huh.
and that was his own business. And it was great.
Hmm.
Yeah, Grandpa used to run
Grandpa.
that.
They had 10 children.
Willie went to work for him.
10 children.
9 Florence. Where did you
No,
get-
9. It was progressive 10. We had
because the
Well, he
honorary
was
was
Nine
the
and
10.
he
the
was
mother,
Yeah.
father.
They had kind of an organization, you know, the family organization.
Uh-huh.
They used to meet every week.
Once a
at
month.
Once a month at somebody's house.
This was in New York?
The temple.
Yeah.
Yes.
They had
Uh-huh.
in the temple.
First
they
it was at the temple,
Yeah,
then they used to meet
uh-huh.
play
Right.
cards.
They used to play cards.
Yeah, right.
And holler at each other.
And the women would cook, and they would have, and at least we met our cousins, and we
That's
We
really,
knew
right.
each other
Everyone-
very
and
well.
that was pretty good. We
Yeah.
grew up knowing our cousins.
Today you don't
Uh-huh.
know your own
Well.
cousins.
It's rare. Yeah, it's harder. Yeah.
Yeah. We used to
Very
go to
good.
Coney.
Yeah.
It was very nice.
Uh-huh. Coney Island, you were saying?
We used to go to
Very
Why don't
Coney
you
Island.
sit on the couch instead of
No.
you standing?
My father would drive
That's
a
ridiculous.
truck. He was in the laundry business.
Yeah, that's true.
And he would drive a truck, and all the kids would sit in the back,
I remember.
and we'd go to Coney Island.
She wanted to get into the act.
That's Linda.
This doll.
Linda,
They-
when she
no.
retired, Linda
Oh, that's
retired.
right.
So they
I
gave her a rocking chair. She says, "I have no room for a rocking chair." She says, give me 2 dolls, a white one and a black one." That's what she taught.
And
Black
Wow.
kids and white kids. So they gave her the 2 dolls.
This is your daughter, Linda?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
She retired.
She did?
Teaching.
Wow.
Tuesday she retired.
Wow,
Yeah.
just this week?
Very nice.
Yeah, last week.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So she had. I wanted to show it to somebody, so I left them down here.
Thank you. Now they're on video. All right, what about the Eisenberg side of the family? So where is Grandma Clara's family from? What are the roots there?
Well, I told you from Pulaski.
Okay, right.
I never heard of last week.
Her father was Nachum. He was a
He
very.
looked like, he reminded
He
us
was
of
of
Santa
Santa
Claus.
Claus.
He was
Really?
Yeah, he had a
blue
beard.
eyes and a nice
Big
twinkle
beard.
in his eye. He was really adorable.
Very nice looking
Nice
man.
looking.
Uh-huh.
Very good looking.
And she
And
was a
my
beautiful
grandmother
lady.
was very slim and
Just
short.
like Grandma. She remembered.
Looked like
Oh,
my
yeah.
mother.
Just
Yeah.
like my mother.
You remember them, Dad, too, I assume?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Any memories, early memories of them, or
We used to go
what
to
it was
New
like for-
Jersey.
We used to go to Hashke's house
Yeah.
almost at least once a month,
Right.
sometimes twice.
And we'd sleep
And
over
we'd
on
stay
the
there.
floor. We'd all sleep on the floor
Uh-huh.
because it wasn't enough room for everybody.
Was she in Jersey then?
She was the oldest, so she had,
Ah.
Grandma used to stay with her,
Mm-hmm.
because they always had a house.
It was very nice. It was
Yeah.
a good upbringing.
She had 3 boys and a girl. in
Hotchka?
Husky.
Yeah.
The girl
And the girl passed away very young.
Oh.
It was a terrible tragedy.
Really?
Yeah. She
Yeah.
had diphtheria.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Darby, her name was. And now, the only one that's left, well, Jack died. And Morris and Oscar are still alive.
They are.
Morris is going for an operation.
Yeah, no.
Not feeling good.
Yeah,
He's almost 90, isn't he?
I guess.
Must be.
Sure.
Time goes.
He's
Yeah.
pretty close to
We're
it.
getting
Time goes. For sure.
I'm the baby and I'm
He's a
78.
baby.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, so when both sets of families, when they came to the U.S., where did they settle?
Yeah. They settled now and they came back. Florence was born in
I lived in Little Rock, Arkansas.
Right.
My
Uncle.
uncle, Sylvia Pinsky's father,
Mm-hmm.
No. So
was in the army,
Morris.
and my father was in the army too, and he met him,
Mm-hmm.
and he took him home to the house for dinner one time, and he met my mother, and he fell in love with her,
Mhm.
and they got married. That's how they met.
So it was in Little Rock that they met?
yeah.
Yes.
Yes. And then settled back here, back in Brooklyn rather, or?
Well, I was born in Little Rock.
Oh, you were?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
They lived there for a while. Then they moved to New Jersey, and Sylvia was born. Then they moved to New York, and Howie was born.
Well, that was East New York, Dad?
Yeah.
Right?
Do you remember that neighborhood, or?
Oh, sure.
Well, I don't remember the neighborhood, but I
On
know
the
I was
east
born
side.
in New York.
Uh-huh.
And
On the east side he
the
was
east
born.
side,
No,
yeah.
no. On the east side? He was
Yeah.
born?
Yes, city. Yeah.
Right.
I'm an old New Yorker.
Born and bred.
Yeah, I guess.
And when did Middle Village come in? That was
Oh, that
Much
was
later?
Oh, that
When I was
was
in the
much
army.
later. God, my father had tailor stores all over the place.
Yeah, we were-
really?
Five-
Did you roam
five
around as a
times
family, or?
Yeah.
I went to 15 schools, I think it was.
Oh my
By the time
God!
I graduated high school.
Really? Oh, my God.
Almost every year we would
Yeah.
change from kindergarten
My
on.
God.
Because the tailoring business kept
Right.
pulling him.
You would
Did
buy
he-
a business and work it for a while, then buy something else and move. We moved from all over the place.
Now, why would they do that? Were they improving each time, or
Yeah,
business would, or
I don't know. Maybe
That
you
was
got time.
depression.
yeah?
Yeah.
15 times? How did you come to that?
Yes.
Yes, there was
No, in
depression.
Borough Park, I
in
remember
29.
we had
Well,
this.
we had, in
We had this-
Mansbeth, he had a
What's the
place.
matter? Of course, that Maspeth was one of the
Well,
latest.
Maspec was,
No, that's-
that was the last one. That's when Aunt Claire.
Right.
Yeah.
Before he went to Middle Village, he went to Maspeth.
That was Aunt Claire.
So
Yeah, this-
they just wandered, huh? There's
Right.
Yeah.
He was a wanderer.
My mother used to help him in the store,
yeah.
and
She had the tailoring skills as
we
well.
lived-
Yeah.
I think when he was born, we lived in the back of the store. And
In Borough Park, wasn't
no, on the east side.
it? No, not that was
We
it.
lived in the back of the store. We used to go in through the side, and we.
I don't remember.
Yeah, you don't remember.
No,
There was
you
a
were the
tailor
oldest.
store in the front,
Uh-huh.
and the back was our apartment.
Uh-huh.
I remember
Like the
Borough
candy
Park.
store.
Borough
we
Park
had.
was-
Borough Park, we had the same thing.
Yeah.
Borough
Yeah, but
Park.
this
Of
was
course, that was Morris's store, and then
Right,
Pop took it over, then we
right.
moved to
That, no,
1850.
that's something different. That's different. I remember Borough Park because
And so we had the party there for
Yeah.
Grandma and Grandpa. They had a 50th, I think a 50th wedding anniversary. That they were going to surprise her.
That's
and
when
then they,
Danny Cake was.
and then they walked over to them and said that you got company is here, so
Mhm.
they got scared, you know. I remember that part.
yeah.
There's a lot of things that we forget. Yeah, what
Yeah, we lived on 18th Avenue also.
Right, 18th
Yeah.
Avenue.
And we lived on.
That's when Georgie Melman was there.
Yeah, and we
Who's
lived
that?
on- We lived
That was a
on,
friend of mine, a
Daddy's.
girlfriend of mine.
and we lived
Mhm.
on 48th
He
and
was,
18th, and then we lived on 46th.
And they had Fuss's Delicatessen downstairs.
Yeah, that I remember too.
Well, that I remember too.
Remember
That was
that?
good.
We lived on
Yeah,
18th Avenue, we had one, and one we had down on
42nd Street.
40,
9th
oh,
Avenue.
no, 14th Avenue.
14th Avenue and
14th
18th
Avenue.
Avenue. That was two different stores he
Mhm.
had.
Yeah, that was right near your grandfather's.
Right.
Yeah. So we moved
15th,
around quite a
30th,
bit.
42nd Street.
Um,
What else can I tell you?
Very good, now get your family. Get your-
No, my family, my sister did. I wasn't
Oh, she did, yeah.
on the
What-
video.
You talked about Grandpa's family and the numbers of siblings. What about Grandma? How many? Where was she in the birth order?
6, oh, there
There
were
was
6
three
children.
girls and 3 boys.
Mm-hmm.
Hashka was the oldest.
Mhm.
Then came
Saul.
Saul. Then came
Mars.
Oh,
Mars.
Uncle Mars.
Uncle Mars. Uncle Moshe. Mars, Sylvia's father.
Sadie and Mars.
Morris, then came Mom, and then came Joe.
no.
The baby
No,
brother.
And then Lottie.
Oh, Lottie.
Lottie, and then
Yeah.
Lottie was the baby.
And
Lottie
Joe.
was the baby and
Yeah,
then it was
Lottie.
Joe.
Mm-hmm.
And then-
I thought Lottie was not the baby.
No,
Joe was the
no,
baby.
Lottie was the baby, I think.
No,
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 Joe
Lottie,
was-
right.
Oh.
Joe is the baby.
Joe was the
Lottie,
baby. I'm
Yeah.
not in the family, but I'm.
yeah. Joe is Joe.
I
Well,
don't
they're
know.
all gone. Every one of them are gone.
Yeah.
Except Dan Kitty. who
The only one that's
was
left on
married.
Pop's side is Saul.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah.
That's it.
Right. Little by little they're going.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well,
They got to make room for the new.
I know. Goodness.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's what happens.
Yeah.
That's life.
All right. Anybody know how the Warshawski got shortened to Warren for Max?
Oh.
sure, the
When
same
he-
way they Spiro.
Yeah.
They,
Oh,
When they came here,
Yeah.
they didn't know how to spell their last name or something.
Warshawski.
So the man said, "All right, it's Warren," and he wrote Warren down on it,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what happened.
But another
but-
man took
yeah.
Shore, another
Yeah.
Another
one
one
took
took Walters.
Walters, another
Yeah.
one took Wachowski.
Yeah.
Not
Harry
really.
took
they
Walters.
changed that afterwards, yeah.
Everybody
Uncle
changed
Warren.
it to a different one.
Yeah, but later on, though, when they first came in, that was it.
Yeah, it was Walters.
Yeah, well,
When they first came in, it was Warren.
When they first came in, that's it, because...
Well, they all didn't come in together. You see,
Uh-huh.
that's the whole thing.
And then when the, for instance, Carl...
That's right, because they were born in Russia.
Right.
Right.
The older one is.
Or Warsaw.
I think the older. I don't even know who came first, but what's her name?
Who?
Um,
Who are you thinking of?
Aunt Bess was the baby,
The baby.
right?
No, Saul was the baby. And Bess was right before.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh, that Aunt Helen. Where was she?
And
No,
Helen was,
and Helen was one of the oldest.
she was the...
wait a
Well,
minute,
the
I got it
older-
right here.
I think
He
the
got it
oldest-
right there.
Yeah,
Wait.
no, that's right.
Okay.
I got it right here.
The oldest was what's his name?
The oldest was Harry. Then came Mars. Then came
came-
Sam. Then
Right.
came Ida. Then Max. Then Willie.
That's right,
Then
And Bess. And Saul.
wait.
And what's that?
Then Helen. Then Saul. And then Bess.
Oh,
That's
Oh,
what-
Helen Solomon Best.
but Saul was
Helen
the
Saul
other
and
one.
Bess.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
All
It's a
right.
big family.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Yeah, it sure was.
Very big
Listen,
family.
nine children is a big family.
Yeah, yeah. Even in today's times.
Well, the grandfather was very active in the shul, and that's how they figured the progressive 10 from that area.
I don't get the progressive 10. What is that referring
were
to?
nine
children
children
Nine
and a
children and
father.
grandpa.
And
Uh-huh.
grandpa.
So
Ten.
they
And
called
every-
themselves the progressive 10, and they used to take.
Meet every
They
Sunday.
had
No, they-
money
once a
involved,
month.
and then if one of the people, one of the sons or daughters needed money, they would lend them the money from the organization.
I see, like a cousins club kind of thing.
Yeah.
More or less. But
Mhm.
this was brothers and sisters.
Uh huh.
And And all
And-
the cousins used to meet, and we'd
And
have, we'd
dinner. The women would
dinners
cook
and-
and the kids would play, and
when
we
we
had,
eat.
and it was very nice.